live yet. Oh, here we go.
Mine does.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are having a great time here, and we're ready to have a great time with you. I'm Leslyn with Lipedema Project, and I'm here with my friends and colleagues, Gail and Siobhan. You guys can say hi. Thank you.
Hello.
So Gail just had to quickly change her venue, and she moved around. Just about, I would say, 12 minutes ago, we had a major earthquake right near me. Ooh. And so I'm waiting for the aftershock that knocks me off the air. We'll see what happens. It's always excitement around here. Siobhan, you're still in Sweden at this point, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Any excitement happening there right now?
They came out with an orange flavored Yulmost, which is like a type of soda.
Oh, okay. This is the excitement in Sweden right now. All right. Thank you. So, and I would have to say that we're kind of still riding on a high from our last weekend's event, our heart-to-heart virtual event that we wanted just to chat with everybody about first. I see we already have a little bit of activity in our comments. Marilee is here from Pacific Northwest in the USA, and Kathy is here from British Columbia. So they're both on the western part of North America. Welcome. And whoever else is here, be sure you post and say where you are in the world. But Siobhan and Gail, let's talk about that incredible event that happened last weekend. Are you recovered yet?
I can tell you, I didn't get to go to all of the event on Friday. I tried. I had doctor's appointments and stuff, so I couldn't make it to all of them, and I didn't feel real good. But I spent most of my time like laying down listening to the event. But then Saturday and Sunday, it was like the world just broke open for me, right? And it was fabulous. We had speakers we've never had before. I mean, sometimes you see the same old speakers, yes. But even the ones we'd had before had all this new information.
Yes,
and it was fabulous with Stanley Roxon as our keynote, and Dr. Raymond Perrin as another keynote. There was stuff we had never seen before.
Yes.
Or yeah. I had never seen before. Maybe you guys had, but
the chat of all the attendees was just going ballistic. I mean, people were going crazy on the chat, posting all kinds of stuff. And it was breakthrough information for them.
Right. And then we had a tiny little, I call it tiny, this little teeny tiny thing that we did about a week beforehand. And we opened up with a little program called the Heart Guides.
Oh, yes.
And they were right there, just keeping everything extremely active and holding people safe and private chatting them and helping with, I mean, that was a fabulous program, and they're still on a high too. The yes. 20 people who are participating in that really were quite just phenomenal. I was really happy with it.
Siobhan, what was your highlight?
My highlight is probably, I mean, the entire thing was like, I feel like every time we just do better and better. So it's like, this is the best one we've ever had. And then the next one happens like, this one's the best we've ever had. But I really appreciated the segment on central lymphatics, especially like going over the symptoms, because it's like they put them up and it's like, okay, check. But what I really appreciated is that I think it was during one of the Q&As, Perrin mentioned that even if you do have these signs of central lymphatic issues and stuff like that, the vast majority probably don't need surgery. They just need less invasive measures. And I didn't even realize like how worried I was about it until he said that. And I felt so relieved, because I've been suspecting for a while, especially after talking to like Kelly and Blanche and stuff like that. But then I was just like not thinking about it, like refusing to think about it, because it's like, I don't want to deal with that right now. But then hearing that, it's like, oh, I can think about it because it's not as overwhelming. So I thought that was really cool. And his talk in general talking about brain lymphatics and how those were discovered, and like how it just makes sense for them to be there in order to move stuff out of the brain that the blood vessels can't take up. That was really, really cool. And it presented it from a perspective that I had never seen before. Like you guys were talking about, there's so much new stuff. And Stanley Roxon also, during, like when he was speaking, again, during one of the Q&As, he was talking about inflammation and all this stuff, but he was talking about it from this perspective of inflammation is this protective response.
Yes.
In the long term, we want to try and resolve whatever's triggering it, like anti-inflammatories are a quality of life thing. It's like, oh, thank goodness somebody else gets it, because it's something I argue about all the time.
And I saw you posting in the chat when he was saying that. You're going, yes.
Yes, finally.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. I saw your excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two things stood out the most, I think. But again, the whole event, like I couldn't attend the whole thing either, because by the time it hit 5 p.m. Mountain Time,
Yes.
it was already 1 a.m. here. And so I went to bed. But still, like I still have the recordings that I want to watch, and just the interaction with people as well. And hearing what their takeaways were and seeing them react to all of this stuff. And there were so many people saying, like, I didn't know what to expect from this, but this is awesome. And this is stuff I've never heard of before. So it highlights to me that these events are bringing something really special that people are finding valuable. And I appreciate seeing that, because sometimes you're like so in it and it's hard to tell, like, is this doing anything? And then people kind of see the fruits of that effort, and yeah, it's good to see it reaching people and the people who need to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Gail, you were talking about, the heart guides and some of that's the special community aspect of it, of the event. Would you say that was your highlight, the way that we were able to have the community interact?
I all the knowledge that you can give me, I mean, you could fire hose knowledge me all over me, because I can only learn so fast, right? But it gets lost a little bit, because it's just one after the other, and pretty soon my brain feels full. But when I have the community part, where I can go into a breakout room and I can discuss this, and then I can come back and I can ask a question, a really well formulated question for the speaker, and they can answer me, or the group that I was in, right? Now I can think about it. And so even though we have all this information, I can't say one person in all of that stood out more for me than anybody else, but being able to be with other community members and kind of chew it around a little bit, right?
Yes.
And get it in my head. And for the life of me, I could not remember. I could not remember everybody.
Right.
I could not remember every single thing everybody talked about, but the important things for me on my journey at this time, I can not cement it all in, but at least get a better grip of it.
Yes.
Right. And my journey is in a totally different place than Siobhan's journey, from a different angle. She's a researcher. I'm a talker. That's the difference between us. Right. And so being able to take that little bit of, for my journey today, and discuss it, makes it closer to my heart. And so, yes, for me, that community aspect is always just the highlight, that I get to get in there with the heart guides. And I know it sounds so funny, because we really don't know what a heart guide is. It's pretty much, right? But it's pretty much a person who's going into that breakout room with you, and they can help hold a space for you to be able to discuss what you need to discuss.
Right. Or
Right.
It's a
process
mentor
or
role.
however
And
you
process
need
it.
to get through it. If it is by listening more or sitting quietly or by actually verbalizing it until
Right.
it makes sense to you, it's
Right.
whatever way you need to process it.
Right.
Mhm.
And because of the social kind of creature that I am, the extrovert that I am, this is really powerful. And then the introverts that people are, they sit quietly in there, but they still have a safe place to be.
Right.
Right. And
Mhm.
so by having that community network inside that, people, I mean, there, I guess a group started for Canada. They're all exchanging phone numbers and
Yeah,
emails.
and that
Every
happened organically. We did not organize that.
Mhm.
People, it just said,
no,
"Hey, we're here from Canada. I want to connect with other people from Canada," and
and
it
it
happened. It just happened. Yeah.
right. And even since then I've had people say, "Hey, do you remember that person? I need their address. This was their name. What was their address?" Of course, I don't have it, you know. So
Mhm.
but I got, but I have a person who does have it. So, I just have to make sure that they, so it was crazy because there were so many people making connections. It was
Yeah.
powerful,
Yes, very
extraordinarily powerful.
powerful. Yeah. And I wanted to ask, and Gail, hopefully you know the answer to this question. I'm just wondering for anybody who missed the event, is there a way for them to sign up for recordings after the event's already happened? They go, oh, shoot, I missed out. I would like to get those recordings. Can they pay for that and get the recordings from the event?
They can. What they have to do is they have to sign up as a VIP. Let me put that in the comments. So they'll have to go into the registration link and sign up as a VIP. That VIP, it's called VIP, but that VIP is actually, now that the event is over, that is your recording. That's
All the
purchase
replays.
you purchase all the replays. So let me put that in the
Mhm.
comments real quick.
Yeah, so check that out. Click on that link. You can learn more about what happened in the event. Like Siobhan and Gail are saying, it was very powerful, lots of information. And sometimes, some of the stuff was presented before. I'm just thinking of Dr. Sachin Patel, who's talking about breathing. He talked about
Mhm.
that before, but he said it again. And I think for a lot of people, it clicked this time, which it may not have the first time. And so that's just the beauty of having these replays, is that the first time you hear it, it may not mean something to you, but the second or third time you take a look at it, oh, now I see what that means for me. So I think it's valuable. Siobhan, I think you're about to say something.
Yeah, so part of that I think is also like each time you go to an event or you watch the talks or things like that, you're always in a different place than you were before.
Yeah.
So maybe when you first saw it, you're focusing on something completely different, and then you come back and you see that kind of topic of breathing or central lymphatics or manual lymphatic drainage or something like that, and all of a sudden it clicks because you're in a space where it's like, that's the next thing that I can focus on. Like you're open again to exploring something else and adding something into your repertoire, because like that's what we want people to do, is just focus on like one or two things, hopefully just one, get that down as part of a routine, and then add something else, because
Yes.
that little incremental change, it's much more comfortable and less overwhelming, and it
Yeah.
can really add up over time.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent point, Siobhan. And I see that Linda was asking if you attended, how do you get the recordings? And Linda, you needed to be registered as a VIP. The VIP attendees are the ones that got the replay. The general admission was just, to be there and experience the event, but you don't have the replay. So Linda, if you are registered as a VIP, if you did that upgrade, then you will be getting the link soon. As soon as we put all of the videos and the recordings have all got to be edited and put together, then you will be getting that soon. Is that correct, Gail?
Yes, and I promise you, anybody who has these replays, you do not want to have them like from moment 01 to the end of the 30 ish plus hours, just a straight recording. So what we do, it takes a moment or two, a week or two, to go through and clip those into nice, presentable, bite size. I can sit down for 20 minutes and watch this, and it takes a while to put all that together in little packages for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know how to watch the event, you just as a recording. And so it takes a few weeks. It takes a couple of weeks to get those all packaged up nice and pretty. And so you'll get those within, it's 3 weeks maybe before we are able to get all those edited and made all nice as a package for you. If you were part of the event but you were not a VIP, please reach out to Isla or to support at lipedemasimplified.org. Let me pop that banner up.
Lipedema-simplified.org. Yeah.
I always have it right here and then I lose it. So I have a little thingy over here on the side where I look for stuff.
So she will, Gail will put that in there to contact Isla. She's pretty much our major support person. She does everything. But you can go to her to make sure that you're going to be getting the replays, or do you need to upgrade in order to get the replays? Or if you did not sign up for the event at all, but now it's after the fact, you can ask those questions of Isla, or go to the link that Gail gave you below for the VIP. They're called VIP recordings. And you're going to go to that link to get more information. We got a bunch of the people posting and saying hi. Mary from Minnesota and Karen from Michigan, and Consciously Awakening from New Orleans. Irene from New Zealand, great. Dottie from Indiana. And wow, just a lot of people posting. Thank you so much for saying where you are and letting us know you're listening. It's wonderful to have you. We have a couple of other things now coming up that I want to make sure that we don't want to run out of time before we're able to tell you about them. One is a free webinar that's happening tomorrow. And that is, she's a pelvic floor therapist. She's a physical therapist and a specialist in pelvic floor, Angeline Petersen. She has talked to our group before, and we're having her back because this is, it's an issue often for people as they get older, but even if you've had any surgeries or traumas to your trunk, you could have these issues even as a younger person. So I think it is something that in our lipedema community, this is a valuable thing to talk about. And so it's happening tomorrow, November 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern. And she's your therapist, Gail. Do you want to say anything about her?
I would love to. Angeline got her certification about 5 years ago. I was her first client because I was already her physical therapy client. She was working on my foot one day and told me what she was going to be completing that weekend. And I was like, sign me up. And she has done a fireside chat with us, and the community members who were in that fireside chat, for some of them, they're like, I still do those exercises she taught me. They've made all the difference. And I gave her first review, of course, because I was her first client. And basically my review said, change your life, don't change your panties, kind of something like that, and she uses that as her slogan. So I know, since then she's no longer just using a piece of paper with the drawing of the pelvic floor with a hole in the middle so she can point to all the different things. She used to, that was how she started. She has her slides, she has her models to help show you what it is. She'll teach us exercises, she'll answer questions, and she is absolutely thrilled. I mean, it's like she's jumping up and down to be able to be here. And we're looking at maybe putting her on the at the heart to heart, but we wanted to give her not 20 minutes. We wanted to give her a full
Right.
webinar time
Yes.
slot
Yeah.
so that all of us can be calm and in our space and ready to listen. The more we know about our pelvic floor, those little things that, you know, that we struggle with, whether it's a dribble here and there, or whether it's I can't stop and I've got to change my clothes, totally, right? Wherever it is, the more we know about it, the healthier we can become,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we can do something today to
Yes.
help our pelvic floor health.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's what she's going to tell us.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful opportunity tomorrow. But you said something when you were talking just now, Gail, that I wanted all three of us to talk about, because you mentioned the fireside chat. And the fireside chats are one of the unique benefits of being a member of our Lipedema Tribe. And the tribe, which I think we would like to tell everybody about, it's a membership group that's only open for people to join a couple times a year. And it happens to be open right now, and is going to be only open through November 13th. And I know that all three of us do, well, you mostly, Gail, do stuff with the tribe, but I would love to get a younger person's perspective, as we're trying to get more younger people involved in the tribe. Siobhan, can you tell us what do you see the benefits of, and the activities and all the things that happen in the tribe?
Yeah, well, part of it is that it can be kind of difficult in person as a younger person to meet other people with lipedema, because a lot of younger people don't know about it, they aren't diagnosed, and it's really helpful for me to get advice and guidance from people who've been dealing with it for so long, because they have that perspective that I just don't have yet. Even talking about things like how to deal with pregnancy, even far off for me right now, but menopause and just little things that come up. And just being able to speak to people who've already been through it, who have experienced multiple times, and getting a bunch of different perspectives. And then also just having a community I can go to, because I do have like the low carb community, but I'm just not as comfortable talking about lipedema stuff with them because they don't get it. By and large, they don't really get it. So knowing there are people for me who do get it, if I want to post an update on something I'm doing, or kind of talk out things that are frustrating or that a lot of people don't understand, is really helpful for me. And then the amount of information available in the tribe as well from the other community members, and then also in like the archives in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I will say, I have not like connected with any like craft groups in person because I don't feel like it. However, within tribe, there's also the artsy fartsy craft and chat, or the inspiration corner, or whatever you want to call it. And there I go to talk about my crafts, and those are really, really fun, just to like connect on this other level of
Right.
It's just shared hobbies and seeing all the different crafty stuff that people are doing, and talking to other people with lipedema, but not about lipedema for some reason, is really fun.
Yes.
And on that note, Marilee said in chat that I have her permission to go and buy as much yarn as I want while in Sweden. I
Yes.
actually have a bag. You can't see it because the thing, but I have a big bag of yarn that I've already gotten, and I'm working on a hat out of yarn that I got in Sweden.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
way ahead of you.
Yeah, very, very nice. I think, one thing you said, Siobhan, that is key that I've seen in the tribe is that it's a place you can go to ask questions or post comments, and there's no preliminary explanation needed.
Mm-hmm.
You can just start from, this high level of people, what do you think of this? And you don't have to do any explanation about lipedema because everybody just knows. So that's pretty cool. But Gail, talk a little bit more about, the mechanics of tribe and all the things that are available.
Oh my gosh. and we're having a an orientation today, in
For the
oh
new
probably
members.
right, for the new members. And one of the things that, and it's probably about in a half hour or so, I'll open the room. But one of the things that we have is a library.
Oh.
We have the hub, and in that hub there's a library of absolutely every single stinking thing that we have done, even before I was part of the tribe in 2020, when the tribe started in 2020.
Mhm.
We have things before that I haven't seen, right? So we have it. You've got a search bar, and you can watch all the videos that we've done that were. I don't think they're free necessarily, but they're the past videos. So if you just, I mean, you could plug in a keyword, and you'd end up with 7 videos, and then to watch about that. But we also, so that's kind of a big major thing. It's that we have this, like Catherine says, it's bigger than the Library of Congress. Okay, this thing has every single stinking thing we've done in there, and you can find it. So if you're digging around, you have that to you. But we also decided that we didn't necessarily, because of the way members felt, we didn't necessarily want to use Facebook for everything, for the networking, for the community itself, the smaller tribe community. We didn't want to necessarily be out on Facebook, right? So with everything happening, we have found a platform. It's called Circle, and now that's our support network platform that we use. So we have that. So it's much private. There are no ads coming at you. No one's searching saying,
Right.
"Oh, you talked about hanging curtains. Now all you got are curtains," right? Coming at you like you do on Facebook. So we
Right.
don't have that in there. And then the other thing that we have is we have an exercise group that we do. We call it Miranda Esmond White Eccentrics, and we do that 5 days a week. We have a monthly Q&A. We have
My book club.
the book club. Leslyn runs a book club. We have the Artsy Fartsy Crafted Chat Inspiration Corner. It hasn't a title this long, but basically we get together and talk and craft and chat or whatever, or not, right? We just sometimes just chat.
And we have the fireside chats.
We have the fireside chats. We get discounts on all the upcoming events. We, and we get first priority for everything. We get to play around and be part of events like the Heart Guides, where people who came in and kind of worked in the event itself. I mean, there's just so many things we get to do. But I think the number one thing is we have these, like, there's big pair of hands just kind of holding us all together and loving on us, right? So we can do that. But is there more? There probably is.
Yeah,
and there's probably things we forgot about, but there's just an incredible amount of support and togetherness and community in the tribe. We have it. You can see on the banner there for more information and to register at learn.lipedema-simplified.org/tribe. Go to there, find out more about it. It's only open until the 13th. So please check it out. Join us. We'd love to have you be part of the tribe. And I hate to hurry us along, but we're already, we're getting up to that half-hour mark. And there's still one other big thing that we want to tell people about. And that is another free webinar that's coming up on, I believe it is on November 8th. Yes. And Dr. Raymond Perrin is going to be talking there, and it's called Empowering Wellness, Treating Lipedema, Lymphedema, and Lymphatics with the Perrin Technique. This, I think, has been a breakthrough technique for us to find out about this, specifically looking at the brain and the central nervous system, lymphatics, and also as a non-invasive way to support your central lymphatics. Because as Siobhan was saying, many people might have issues with their central lymphatics, but it may not be as urgent and harrowing as a couple people that we had presenting at the conference. But a lot of people need the support. And we think this might be one way to help manage and support issues with your central lymphatic. So don't want to miss this.
Just to contextualize it a bit, because it's like, okay, well, what do the central lymphatics or brain lymphatics have to do with anything? Well, so some of the things he talked about were things like brain fog and fatigue and migraines and stuff like that. And when we're looking at lipedema, we're seeing a lot of those things pop up. Fatigue is talked about all the time. Brain fog comes up. And if you are struggling with those issues, this technique may be something that you can put in your toolbox and play around with potentially, especially if you can find someone certified in the training who can go through it with you. But what I'm actually going to do after I watched his talk is I'm going to buy a copy of his book, because he has one for practitioners. I'm going to give it to my lymphatic therapist, and then I'm going to see if I can work with her. She can read up on it, and then we can start trying it out and see if it's helpful. So
don't just be limited. This book sitting here next to me. I was going to hold it up and show you the book. It's available on Amazon. Just Google the Perrin Technique Handbook for Patients, I think is what it's called. He has a really expensive text that gives all the science behind everything. But if you want to know just what to do, you get the less expensive Handbook for the Patients. Page 64 starts with those exercises and the self massage techniques and stuff. I'm going into it all the time because I'm using it on Bill. So yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. The book would be excellent, but also attend this webinar to learn more, learn about how this might help you or a loved one.
Yeah, because if you're not sure if it applies or not, you can just attend the webinar. It's free. You can check out the information, and then you can kind of decide from there, oh, this sounds exactly like me. And then you know, oh, here's a step you can take right away.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to put a link for that webinar up.
Yeah, this is just save the date. Save the date, because you can't actually register for it yet, but save that date and be looking out for the link coming soon.
Yeah,
thanks,
Gail. We'll get it to you. Don't you worry about that. So yeah, just make sure that be watching your emails, and we'll have that link to you soon.
Yes. And you've done it again. You spent over a half an hour with us, everybody, and we were so glad you did. We love being here with you, and thanks for everybody posting all that stuff in the chat. We love to know that you're here and listening. And we will see you again next Friday. Bye, everybody.